The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose a heartbreaker in overtime in Kansas City, 30-24. We're that close to handing the Chiefs their first loss of the season, but this is a demoralizing defeat for a Buccaneers team that really put forth a great effort. And let me say this about Todd Bowles, because there's two things I got to say in regards to him as a coach. One thing that can never be questioned as this man is head coach, this team's effort. Man, they were down their top three wide receivers. The defense has been struggling. Josh Hayes is out there at cornerback getting picked apart. You know, KJ Britt, JJ Russell, and Vi Jones were rotating at linebacker. The Buccaneers went down the field in Arrowhead, down 7 in the final minute there to tie this game up and force overtime. Effort for his entire tenure has never been questioned, and those guys always fight for him. Now, having said that, decision making has been a big problem. Multiple moments in his tenure. I always think back to the game in Cleveland when Tom Brady was here, but also let's discuss what happened last night against the Chiefs. I mentioned it. Down your top 3 wide receivers. Your defense on the previous 2 drives, because I'm not going to count the drive where the Chiefs just kind of ran and threw it in a miscommunication situation where they're trying to just bleed the clock. In 2 drives, they had 2 touchdowns, 27 plays, nearly 150 yards, and 15-plus minutes taken off the clock. Your defense was gashed. The weather was terrible. And honestly, giving up 3.5 yards per carry isn't that bad, but you couldn't get a negative play on any of these runs from Kareem Hunt, who went 27 attempts at you and just kept going over the century mark. So you know your defense is bending right now. You just got your offense in the end zone. By the way, both plays from the 2-yard line from Baker Mayfield and Liam Cohen there were great. It was a little bit of a low throw, rainy conditions to Cade Otton. I think on a dry day he makes that catch. Nonetheless, he was open. And then you have a great play drawn up for Ryan Miller. You got to give me the shot there at the 2. I think you got to go for the win or lose scenario in Arrowhead with your defense gassed and with the offense having the momentum, because I understand that you could lose the game right there, but you know you still have to stop Patrick Mahomes with 27 seconds left, and he's got 3 timeouts in his back pocket. I won't even get into the fact that Todd Bowles called the timeout with the ball down at the 1 or 2 yard line there and didn't allow the Chiefs to burn one of their timeouts. Whatever. But again, you have Patrick Mahomes you got to stop with 27 seconds left and 3 timeouts. And then even if you can do that, then you got to pray you win the coin toss, because you know if this man gets the ball to begin overtime, it's a wrap. You coach Tom Brady. You know how this goes. That man is not losing in overtime. No way, no how. They faced 1 third down in overtime, and it was a 3rd and 1 where the Chiefs eventually ran the ball in with Kareem Hunt. I remember talking with Mike Leach a long time ago when I was a reporter in Spokane. And we asked him about going for 2, because he actually did not do it in a game in Oregon where the Cougs upset Oregon. They were ranked, Cougs weren't. It was a huge win for Washington State. We asked Mike Leach, why didn't you go for 2 there? Why risk going to overtime? And Mike Leach said, I thought we were the better team. So I want the game to continue, because I don't think that defense can stop me when we get the ball. But I think they can stop me on a play. I don't know if the Buccaneers had it in them to stop the Chiefs if they were going to win the coin toss. But I did think that the Buccaneers could win 1 play. And that's where I think this all happened. So do we know if the Bucs would have won or lost that game? Remember, the Chiefs still would have had an opportunity on 4th down there. They would have went for it. They wouldn't have punted. They still could have kicked the field goal and won. Mahomes' magic could have continued. There's a lot of what-ifs. It's not like if they go for the 2-point and it's an automatic win, right? There are negative scenarios. But I do believe that was the right play there, and Bowles didn't go for it. So that's a little upsetting to see, especially after his guys fought their tails off. In more of the positive news, Sterling Shepard was amazing in this game. Cade Otton is proven to be one of the best receiving tight ends in the league right now. He's stepping into that Evans-Godwin kind of route tree role, which is pretty crazy with what they're doing. I thought the defense did some amazing work. They got 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes, some really good schematic things, I felt like, from Bowles at parts there. But if we're going to be honest, Josh Hayes was picked apart by Mahomes between the rotation of Vi Jones, KJ Britt, JJ Russell there at linebacker. They got issues there, and the middle of the field continues to be wide open. Travis Kelce, 100 yards, just mashed that defense. But I thought that was a very positive performance overall for many portions of that game from that team, despite getting the ball pounded against them in the second half. It just stinks to walk away with another overtime loss in this contest. Now the team, 4-5. You got the 49ers coming up on short rest before your bye week, and you got to play a Niners team that's refreshed, is going to probably have Christian McCaffrey back, and Kyle Shanahan, who will feast off any sort of zone that you run. So it's a really tough test coming up this weekend. If there's one thing we know about this group, they're going to fight for that man. They could really use a win to enter the break going 5-5. I don't think the season's over if they go 4-6 entering the bye, considering their schedule is so soft in the second half and they're going to get healthier. But man, what a momentum change that would have been to hand Kansas City their first loss, and it didn't happen.